Yeah. I know. It's not Christmas. It's not Christmas Eve. It's not even December right now. But you know what? Halloween's over. And I don't really care about the fake holiday called Thanksgiving, where pilgrims came over and allegedly exchanged turkey, yams, and syphilis to the Indians in exchange for all of their land. So let me first start things off by saying that I am not here to bash classic Christmas movies. If you have a regular rotation of films that you watch with your family and friends every Christmas, that's awesome and keep it up. These are films that you may not have considered that are Christmas movies and would not be a bad idea to throw into your regular rotation, or not a bad idea to put on if you want to scare away some family members that you hate coming over every Christmas. And maybe these films will keep them from ever coming over again, which in turn is kind of a Christmas gift all in itself. So for you who are using these movies for that reason, Merry Christmas. So let's go ahead and get into the top 10 not so Christmassy Christmas movies that you can watch on Christmas. And we're going to start things off a little slow. We're going to kind of inch into the weirdness. So at number 10 is Home Alone. And now then, I know a lot of people, this is a true Christmas film to them, and it's in their regular rotation during the holidays. I get that. But it's not that for everyone. Because first off, there's some weird things in this movie, in case you never noticed. First off, there is child abandonment and child endangerment. That is the whole basis of this story. When you go on vacation and then midway in the air you're like, holy crap, I forgot one of my kids at home, and now your child is at home. Also, there is two guys called the Wet Bandits who are robbing houses on Christmas because that is their chosen profession. No knock. And these two guys make the mistake of trying to break in this kid's house. That's where we get to meet Kevin McAllister, who is going to defend his home to the very end by setting up all kinds of crazy booby traps that would, in any other film, murder somebody. I am pretty sure that this kid grew up to be Jigsaw in the Saw films. But the movie does take place during Christmas. There's snow on the ground, so it is very Christmassy. So there you have it. And now we are on to number 9, and that is Trading Places, starring Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Now, right off the gate, I have to explain. This movie takes place during Christmas. There's snow on the ground, there's decoration, so it's Christmassy. In this film, we have two rich white dudes that they decide to do an experiment on human beings, and that is by changing the financial situation of two people. They take Eddie Murphy's character, who is he's a hustler. We'll just call him that. He's a street hustler. And then we have Dan Aykroyd's character, who he is a big-time stockbroker, millionaire dude. And through a whole bunch of different schemes, they actually switch their lives and they trade places, thus the name. During the film, they do find out what has happened to each other, and they work together to take down these two old rich guys and basically make them poor, and then in return make themselves both rich. So it has kind of a Christmas miracle into it, right? Also, side note, for those out there who are Jamie Lee Curtis fans, this is the first movie where you get to see her boobies. And at number 8, we have Batman Returns. Yes, there was a sequel made to Tim Burton's Batman starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. And in this one, we have Michael Keaton back, we have Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, and we have Danny DeVito as the Penguin. This movie is very Christmassy. It does take place during the holidays. There's a giant Christmas tree in the middle of Gotham. There's snow on the ground and people singing Christmas songs, fa la la la. It's a Christmassy movie. But it's a very dark film. Tim Burton got free reign on this one as far as he could do whatever he want because of the success of the previous Batman film. And he takes us all to the dark side. We got Penguin. He is a disgusting character, but portrayed very, very well by Danny DeVito. Nothing against him. Fantastic performance. But, he's got a scene where he bites someone's nose off. His plan is to kill all the children of Gotham. So, real good Christmas stuff. So at number 7, we have Rocky IV. That is right. In case you forgot, Rocky IV, the main fight, takes place on Christmas Day. So, it's Christmassy. Plus, he does his training in Russia, and Russia has a lot of snow, so Christmas feels. At the end of the film, of course, he wins against Ivan Drago, the horrible Russian guy, and gives a speech and ends the Cold War, and everything is beautiful, and it's like a Christmas miracle ending. And now we're at number 6 with Lethal Weapon. In case you forgot, the first scene that we see Mel Gibson in, it takes place in a Christmas tree lot where he is being an undercover police officer pretending to be someone trying to buy drugs. So, Christmas trees, it's Christmassy. And this is by far one of the best, if I dare say the best of all time buddy cop movies, and really set the trend for those type of films. Him and Danny Glover, when I say him, of course I'm referring to Mel Gibson, him and Danny Glover work off each other perfectly. There are some amazing fight scenes here, and we get Gary Busey before he went full-blown crazy. Alright, I'm very happy that you all are still with me, but now we're getting to the top 5, and things are going to start getting weird. So at number 5, we have Jack Frost. And this is the Jack Frost that's about a killer snowman. And it takes place during Christmas, so it's Christmassy. And snowmen are Christmassy. This film is filled with all kinds of Christmas one-liners right before he kills people, and is one of those movies that is so bad that it is fantastic. Number 4 is, of course, Gremlins. Yes, Gremlins takes place during Christmas. In case you forgot, most people just remember Gizmo, the cute little mogwai. But people don't remember that when you don't follow the rules, getting them wet, bright lights, don't feed them after midnight, they turn into these evil-looking ones. And in this movie, they destroy the whole town. They murder quite a bit of people, the Gremlins. But it does have that Christmassy vibe because it takes place during Christmas. There's snow on the ground. You see the Gremlins, even when they're in their evil form, they're singing songs, watching movies, and everyone thinks it's a nice, fun film. But then we forget about the story, about Phoebe Cates' character talking about her dad getting stuck in the chimney as he's pretending to be Santa Claus, and he ends up dying in there, and they want to know what the smell is, and they find his dead corpse in the chimney. And again, like I mentioned before, the Gremlins, when they're evil, they murder people, and the special effects of them melting and all that stuff, and one of them gets blown up in a microwave. Like, I don't think people remember this film for what it is. They just see Gizmo, and their brain apparently shut down all the other stuff. But still, Christmassy movie. And we are at number 3 now. Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's right, a movie about a serial killer Santa Claus that kills people on the naughty list. Now then, obviously, Santa Claus, so Christmassy movie. Take place during Christmas. Christmassy movie. But it's a serial killer Santa Claus. And I would say this, when you look at the cover, you see the title, you know what the premise is, you probably think this is a horrible movie, and maybe even one of those movies like Jack Frost that's so bad that it's good. But actually, no. This is a very well-written film. And yeah, it has some corny moments in it with music and stuff like that. But the story of how this guy became a serial killer Santa Claus, you actually start to feel really bad for the guy, and you completely understand why he is the way he is. And like I said, you feel sorry for him at the end of the movie. But for those who like carnage, there is obviously a lot of kills because he's a serial killer Santa Claus, and they are all Christmas themed kills, so Christmassy. and we are finally upon the top two. And I know people watching, you've been missing a certain movie, and you've been getting angry, and you've been really gripping on the edge of your seats going, I know he's going to mention this movie. He's got to mention this movie. And you were right. At number 2 is Die Hard. This movie has been debated for years as whether it is or is not a Christmas movie. You know what? It's Christmassy because it does take place during Christmas. It takes place at a Christmas office party. There is Christmas music. But because it's an action film starring Bruce Willis taking on terrorists in an office building, people just want to push it to the side and say, nope, that rubbish is just not Christmas for me. But you know what? It is Christmassy. And we are finally at number 1. The best and greatest, not so Christmassy Christmas movie that you need to watch on Christmas. And that is none other than John Carpenter's The Thing. And you're looking at me right now like I'm a crazy person, which I am. I have documentation for it, but I do take medication, so we're okay on that. But there is a lot of snow. It takes place up in Antarctica. There's a lot of snow, so snow is Christmassy. And, you know, these guys are dealing with the fact that there's an alien monster that can pretend to be human beings. And doesn't that remind you of those family members that talk crap about you all year long on social media, but then at Christmas time, they smile in your face and pretend to be a normal human being? Seems very similar, doesn't it? Yeah. You know, they're just walking around pretending to be these nice, loving people, where deep inside, they're just evil monsters. And that's exactly what the people in this film are dealing with while surrounded with snow. So you know what? That makes it by far the best, not so Christmassy Christmas movie that you need to watch on Christmas.